Chapter 1 of What If Naruto Had the Rinnegan. Today was October 10th in Konoha, the Hidden Leaf Village. The people of this village were out celebrating the victory over the nine-tailed demon fox 8 years earlier. For most people, this would be a day of fun and spending time with family and friends. But for one blonde-haired boy named Naruto Uzumaki, he was doing his best to stay hidden from the villagers to avoid another beating. He didn't know for sure why the villagers hated him, but from hearing all the names he was always called, he had a pretty good idea. He just had no way of finding out for sure. Taking a turn down an alley to avoid a crowd of people, Naruto failed to notice the two Chunin who followed after him. By the time Naruto realized he wasn't alone, one of the Chunin dropped down in front of him and pulled a kunai and slashed him across the chest before kicking him into the wall. Naruto hit the wall and slid down it to the ground. Slowly standing back up, he saw the other Chunin join him and both had kunai in their hands. "Now we will finish what the Yondaime started 8 years ago," laughed one of the Chunin. "Prepare to die, demon brat," said the other as both Chunins threw their kunai. "I don't want to die yet, there's so much I haven't done yet. I just can't die yet," Naruto screamed in his head as closed his eyes for a split second. When he reopened them, everything seemed to slow down for him. He could see the kunai still flying through the air, but they seemed to be moving slower. Thinking quickly, he grabbed both kunai out of the air and sent them flying back at their owners. The Chunin were surprised to see the demon grab the kunai and failed to move in time to avoid them. The kunai stuck in their foot, sticking them in place. Naruto noticed this and turned and ran out of the alley. He knew there would be people waiting for him at his apartment, so he went to his favorite spot in the village where no one ever looked for him, on top of the Yondaime's head. He got there and sat down to catch his breath, and before he knew it, he fell back into unconsciousness. Mindscape, Naruto woke up to the sound of dripping water. He stood up and noticed he was in what appeared to be a sewer with pipes running along the tunnel he was in and water everywhere. He looked down at the water he was standing in and noticed something strange with his eyes. Where they were once a bright sky blue, they were now a deep crimson red with 2 tomoe in his right eye and 1 tomoe in his left. "What the hell is wrong with my eyes?" Naruto asked out loud. "Come down the tunnel and you will have your answers," said a booming voice from nowhere. Naruto, deciding he had no other ideas on what to do, decided to listen to the voice. He walked down the tunnel and came to a large open room that had a large gate and with a piece of paper on it. On the paper was the kanji for the word seal. Naruto started to walk toward the gate when 2 large orange eyes with black slit pupils appeared, causing him to stop. Out of the shadows came a large 9-tailed fox with red fur that sat down behind the gate and just stared at him. "Hello kid," the fox said. "So it is true then, I really do have the Kyuubi sealed within me," Naruto said. "Yes, I am sealed within you, but that is not why you're here." "Well, at least not all of it," the fox said, causing Naruto to look at it. "What do you mean?" Naruto asked. "That would be because of me," said another voice from beside the fox. Naruto looked down and saw the Yondaime Hokage standing before him. "The Yondaime got sealed in here as well?" Naruto asked, a bit confused. "No, I am not sealed in here, only the Kyuubi is. I am dead. The only reason I am here is because I sealed part of my chakra in the seal when I sealed the Kyuubi," Minato said, and was immediately punched in the gut by an angry Naruto. "Why the hell would seal the Kyuubi inside of me? Do you have any idea how bad my life has been?" Naruto screamed at the dead cage. "Calm down kid. Just listen to what he has to say first," the fox said. Minato looked down at his angry son and let out a sigh. "I sealed the Kyuubi inside you because I knew you had what it took to work with the fox and use its power for good. I couldn't ask anyone else to give up their child that night. For one, only someone from the Uzumaki clan could contain the power of the 9-tailed fox. And 2, I couldn't ask someone else to give up their child if I wasn't willing to give up my own." That caught Naruto's attention as he looked up to the cage he had viewed as a hero his whole life. I'm your son?" Naruto asked. When he received a nod from Minato, he rushed the older blonde and hugged him. After a few minutes, the fox cleared his throat. "Not meaning to be rude, but you don't have much longer. Minato and the kid need some explanations. Right, what happened to your eyes is simple. You unlocked your Sharingan, Minato said, causing Naruto's eyes to go wide. But I'm not part of the Uchiha clan, Naruto said. But you are part Uchiha just like me and your grandfather, Madara Uchiha, said Minato. But that's impossible, Madara died during his fight with the Shodaime, Naruto replied. That's true, but he used an ability of the Sharingan called Izanagi to change his fate sometime after his death. My father never even wanted to fight against Hashirama at all. He was forced into it by the clan elders of the Uchiha at the time. There is plenty of information on this in the Sharingan and its abilities in the Uzumaki clan compound, Minato said, but saw Naruto's saddened expression. I wouldn't be allowed in the compound. Everyone thinks I am just an orphan or the demon brat. Even when I asked the Sandaime about my parents, he would always change the subject, replied Naruto. Minato was angered that the village would ignore his final wish to see Naruto as a hero. He turned to look up at the fox. Will you show Naruto where the compound is and help him to get what is rightfully his? You know I will help him, Minato. Just like I helped his mother and Mito, replied the fox. Can I hear about my mother? Naruto asked. I'm afraid I don't have any time left, Naruto. However, there is plenty left from your mother and I in the compound, and even the fox has some stories I'm sure he would tell you, Minato said with a smile. However, when you wake up there should be a katana laying near you that belonged to your mother. She was a feared swordswoman in her day and wanted you to take after her. She sealed it in with the Kyuubi so you would have it when you first came here. How do I turn the Sharingan off? Asked Naruto. Just stop the flow of chakra to your eyes for a minute and they will go off, replied Minato as he watched Naruto turn his Sharingan off. Naruto hugged his father as he saw him start to fade away. Stay strong, Naruto, and always follow your heart. Your mother and I will always be watching over you and we love you very much, Minato said as he faded away. Naruto wiped away a few tears before looking up at the fox. So what now, Kyuubi-san? First, the name is Kurama. Second, could you change this mindscape of yours into something other than a sewer? It gets boring in here with nothing to do all day. After that I will lead you to your parents' place so you can get your stuff and we can start your training. You may also want to find someone to teach you Kenjutsu, Kurama said. Naruto nodded before he closed his eyes in concentration. After a few minutes the sewer started to vanish, replaced by a large open field with a river in the middle surrounded by the forest. There were even a few large animals running around. I like it, kid, but what's with the animals? Asked Kurama. I thought you may like something to do while you are in here, Naruto said with a shrug as he started to fade. Real world. When Naruto came back to the land of consciousness, he noticed a weight on his stomach. Setting up, he found a katana in a blood-red sheath with a design of the Kyuubi on it. Drawing the blade from its sheath, he found a blade about 2.5 feet long colored a deep crimson. The handle of the blade was wrapped in red and black cloth. Naruto slowly sheathed the blade and went to strap it to his back when Kurama stopped him. Hold on, kid. There should be a seal on the sheath somewhere near the handle. Find it and pump some of your chakra into it, Kurama said. Naruto looked for the seal and pumped his chakra into it when he found it. Out of the seal popped a 6-foot metal pole with a black, curved blade on the end. That scythe was how your mother became known as the Red Death of Konoha. She was a master swordswoman and was just as deadly with that scythe of hers. Naruto resealed the scythe and strapped the katana to his back. How are you speaking to me, Your father removed a part of the seal before he left, so now we can talk without you being in here. All you have to do is think what you want to say and I will hear it. Why are you heading to the Hokage Tower, kid? I'm gonna talk with Gigi and find out why he lied to me about my parents. You also said I should find someone to teach me Kenjutsu, and if she is working tonight then I already have someone in mind, replied Naruto. 5 minutes later. Hiruzen Sarutobi was sitting behind his desk doing his paperwork. However, his mind was on his grandson in all but blood and was hoping he was okay. He was about to check his crystal ball when there was a knock at the door. Come in, said the aged Kage. Naruto walked through the door and found the cage sitting behind his desk. The old cage smiled at Naruto, but it soon dropped when he saw the seriousness in his face. He was also curious as to where Naruto got the sword from. He could have sworn he had seen that blade somewhere before. "Good evening, Hokage-sama. If Nikone is around tonight, I need to speak with the two of you alone, please," Naruto said, causing the aged cage to wonder what was going on. Hiruzen made a single hand sign and 3 of the 4 Anbu left while one with a cat mask landed beside Naruto. Hiruzen made a set of hand signs and placed them on his desk, causing a seal to glow for a brief moment. "All right, Naruto-kun, it's only the 3 of us here now. What do you need to talk about?" "I would like to know why you lied to me when you said you didn't know who my parents were," Naruto said, shocking Hiruzen. "What do you mean, Naruto?" Hiruzen asked, slightly worried of what might happen. "I know you knew who my parents were. I met my father tonight. Apparently he sealed some of his chakra away with the Kyuubi 8 years ago." "Now I would like to know why you lied to me," Naruto replied. "I am sorry, Naruto, but we couldn't risk telling you and you going and telling others. Your parents made a lot of enemies during their time and would do anything they could to harm anyone related to either of your parents," explained the Hokage. Naruto slammed his hands down on the desk and subconsciously activated his Sharingan, shocking both Hiruzen and Yu-Gi-Oh! "So you did it because you didn't trust me? All you had to do was tell me not to say anything and I would have kept my mouth quiet about everything. All I ever wanted to know was if my parents loved me or not and who they were." "How do you have the Sharingan?" asked Yu-Gi-Oh! "Family bloodline from my father's side of the family. Dad was part Uchiha and he got that from my grandfather, Madara Uchiha," Naruto told the 2 other people in the room. "But Madara died fighting the first Hokage," Yu-Gi-Oh! said, confused. "Yes, apparently the clan elders forced Oji Aizen into fighting the first Hokage. After his death he used the Sharingan ability to change his fate and left the clan behind. He never wanted to fight Hashirama-sama," explained Naruto. Everyone was quiet as they processed what they had just learned. It was broken by Yu-Gi-Oh! speaking up. "That is your mother's blade, isn't it?" "Yes, this belonged to my mom." "Why?" asked Naruto. "Your mother was my Jonin sensei and always carried that blade with her. I never knew she had a kid because I joined the Anbu and didn't get to see her much. If you need someone to teach you, I would be more than happy to teach you, Naruto-kun. I would like that, Ne-chan, thank you." "Hokage-sama, I am going to the Uzumaki clan compound to get what is rightfully mine. Dad even told me to go there when I met him," Naruto said and turned to walk out. "What was said here tonight, Naruto-kun, is an S-class secret. Please do not tell anyone about this," Hiruzen said. Naruto just nodded and left, leaving Yu-Gi-Oh! And Hiruzen alone. "If he takes after his parents and grandfather, he will be the strongest ninja of his generation," Yu-Gi-Oh! said. "That he will. I just hope the foolish villagers don't do anything to him, or I fear they won't like what he can do," Hiruzen replied as he went back to work.